Hello everyone and welcome to this first appointment with Python on Code on Fire. A series of tutorials will follow regarding Python, then subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. In this tutorial we will talk about variables and in particular we will see how they are created and what their characteristics are within Python. At the moment I'm using Jupyter simply because it's more convenient for explaining the topic, but you can use the development environment you prefer. Okay, first of all, let's look at what variables are in general. We can define variables as a name to which values are associated. That works as a sort of label and allow us to easily recall the values associated with them. Here, as we can see, we have declared some variables at which we have assigned values to. Values are assigned to the variables with the single equal symbol, and the assignments always occur from left to right. Here we have used a simple letter, a name, and simply associated integer values with them. If we give this variable to the print function, which we introduce immediately to obtain an output, we will have an output that will consist of the values associated with the variables. The print function will be a constant during all our appointments, so we will have the opportunity to delve into it further. For the moment, we just need to know that if we want to obtain a visual output, we must use the print function. In Python, and this is a feature, variables are not statically typed. As we can see, here we have declared as a simple variable a, to which we have assigned different values belonging to different classes. Here we have an integer value of 100, then at the same variable we assign another value which is the word hello, and therefore it will belong to a different class, which will be the string class. Here we have a boolean and here a float type value. Now let's give this variable to print function. It will return as 2.5 because the float value is the last one we declared. The order goes from top to bottom. As we can see, our variable has taken over different types of values without giving any type of error. This is because variables in Python are not statically typed. For example, it is not necessary to declare in advance what will be the type of value associated with the variable, as happens in other programming languages. The assignments can also be made in a chain manner, and we see it in this small example. Here we have a variable a of 100. I assign the variable a to b, and therefore I will automatically assign the value of 100 to b as well. We can make even more complex, longer concatenations. In this case, we have not only given our variable to the print function, but we have also written a small text message. We basically created a string by simply placing quotation marks. Alternatively, you can also use a pair of quotes. In the third print function, we also introduce the \n. N means a new line, and the backslash is the escape symbol. Learn more about this later. The union between the backslash and the N allows us to obtain a new line. Basically, it allows us to write on a new line. Note the use of commas, which has been used since the first example. The comma always acts as a separator. This is a concept that can be extended to the entire field of programming. Let's continue by now looking at class types and identity. We talked before about different types of value. There are strings, integers, boolean, floating point numbers, etc., etc. Every time we assign a certain value to a variable, this will be identified by a very specific number in memory. Here, for example, A equals 100, B equals 100. By using the ID function and giving it variable A first and then the variable B, we can see in the output that the identifier, which is this number here, is the same for both variables A and B. This is because they are both integer values and have the same values. We have instead assigned a value of 100 to the variable C, but as a string, therefore belonging to a different class. The type function will return the class to which the value belongs. As we can see, the variables A and B are integers, while the variable C is of string type, and therefore the identification number will be different compared to the identification number of A and B. There are syntax rules that must be respected when we declare a variable. We can use upper letters, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, remembering that Python is case sensitive. We can use punctuation symbols, exclamation point, question mark. The only symbol that is accepted is the underscore. We can use numbers, but not at the beginning of the variable name. So if we want to use the numbers, we have to move them to the end of name of a variable. Otherwise, we will encounter a syntax error. Assigning simple letters to variables doesn't help as much. We will have to be more descriptive and use suitable name. For example, here I have declared a variable using the name number of coins. This allows us to immediately understand that associated with this variable we find the value that refers to the number of coins. I give it an integer value of 5. There are three conventions that we can use to write the names of variables, which are the camel case, the Pascal case, and the snake case. The camel case consists of writing the first word with the lowercase letter, followed by the next words which all have the initial capital letter. The Pascal case, instead, consists of writing the name of a variable with the capital letters for each word. That makes up the name, and therefore number of coins. As we can see, each word has a capital letter. Then we have the snake case, which simply consists of dividing the words with an underscore. You can use whatever convention you prefer, as it is just a convention. Always remember to leave spaces when you go to declare your variables, values, symbol. But there's are more general advice in order to obtain code written in a clear and clean way. I want to point out the comments I included in the example. Comments in Python are written by adding the pound sign in front of the comment. Comments are used to describe different parts of the code and make it more understandable. That's all. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel.